So hi, my name is Mick Doyle and this is Linda Stewart, and we run a business called Science Alive. It's a consultant educational business. We take our science programs to schools, mainly primary schools in the Perth area. We've run this business for 16 years. It's been very successful. It's still quite a small business, it's just the two of us. It's doing something that we love to do, both of us. You know, I'd like to keep doing the business forever, really, as long as I can walk. I'd like to be involved. We've been reasonably successful. We've been finalists in the Premier's Science Awards twice in the last 5 years.
About 4 times a year we send out a brochure to all the schools. I think getting it to the person that wants it is one of the hardest parts, because we send either to the science coordinator or the deputy principal. The teacher rings up or emails. It used to be all on the phone, now it's probably 90% email. They ring up and go from there, so the website's been really good.
We go down to the south and we do go out to country schools. We're just waiting on a phone call back today from Leinster, out in the goldfields.
So everywhere from Esperance to Kununurra, basically, right, and everywhere in between. We've
got a variety of shows. We've got about 15 or 16 different possible programs that a school could book. So they'll book a time with Linda, a day. I might spend the whole day at a school, and I might have a variety of shows. So they're all stored in our shed. The idea behind the programs is to stimulate interest in science and create sort of a buzz or excitement around the whole thing. So they're all
very theatrical.
Yeah, very theatrical, but also organised to be very educational. So they're all very closely linked to the science outcomes for schools. That's our thing, I guess. The fun of finding out. When I got my degree, I was picked up by the Powerhouse Museum in Sydney and designed exhibitions for them, and ended up specialising in the design of science and technology-based exhibitions.
Nice.
So I came to Perth, to live in Perth, to design SciTech Discovery Centre.
Mick's great talent is explaining complicated things in a simple and interesting way, which is really hard to do, especially science concepts. So how could we make more of that side, the creative side of the business?
As many self-employed people would know, you're so caught up in the day-to-day business of actually running what you've got at the moment. It's quite difficult to find the time to do extra things. So I guess in the last 6 months, the focus for myself has been on, there's a new science curriculum. So we've rewritten our shows, or I've rewritten our programs. You know, one of the difficulties is finding the time to to move in new directions. You know, focus on our marketing or networking or you know, designing of new attributes. You know, all those things take quite a lot of time. Very difficult balance, isn't it? The balance between business and home life, especially when you're sort of running the business alone. I was determined to make a big success of the business up until a few years ago, and I've been going at it for quite a while. You know, I mean, it's been very successful. To be honest, I stopped being as intense about the business and started to, which is probably why we're not quite as busy as we used to be, and I haven't tried as many different things, but I'm happier and have more of a home life. But you know, as people out there who are their own bosses, you know, we're often our own worst bosses, really. You know, when the boss would say, look, I think you need to go home, just forget about this, you know, we don't. I would say my weakest point in business would be networking. You know, I'm a pretty good ideas guy and a good performer in front of other people in a big, difficult situation, but when it comes to networking and chatting with people and being friendly, look, I'm not all that good. I'm quite shy, really. You know, look, I do find that difficult, and it has been while other people in this sort of thing would be on all committees, etc., you know, I'm not, and I think our business suffers because of that. Really, last weekend, no, weekend before, at the Science Teachers Conference at the Vines, sort of. Just being there really and chatting to people in the breaks, and a lot of people there know me actually. You know, I'll start chatting to them and they go, yes, I know you. And so they go, oh yes, we've been thinking about having you. So we put our brochure in the handout bag, etc. The basis of the business really is my presentation skills and my ability to develop interesting ways to present information, which really could go across any subject. So, but I've managed to develop the science side, and I've never been able to find a way to actually take that and turn it into just this idea of presenting information, you know, in any sort of aspect. So I guess you have to be a specialist in a particular thing rather than a specialist presenter.
It's really hard to find experiments that are portable, reproducible, interesting, that illustrate a certain principle in an exciting way, that don't use things that cost a lot or things that go wonky if you leave them in a hot car, or, you know, all that sort of thing. Like the amount of research that Mick puts into the shows.
Wrote these books. There you go. Light and lenses, magnetism and electricity. Fantastic. I mentioned them on our website. We've never really actively tried to sell them. Possibly we should. We've got good ideas, but in the past we've never been able to get people to see them. I mean, you know, get a camera like that. I should just video myself doing experiments from the new shows. You know, go, oh, we're developing a new show here. Oh, that didn't go very well. Put that on your website, on our website. Got me fired up now.
Yeah, since we got the website, it's helped a lot. And they take you seriously if you've got a presence on the web.